So I'm going to take you through the add-ons that I have that specifically help with my healing and tracking of the cooldowns. The first thing that I have that's really useful is called Fortress, and it's kind of hard to pronounce. You can get it from WoW Ace, Curse, WoW Interface, any one of those, take your pick. See right here, you have to have the fort cooldown, the actual module, and then your druid class. I don't really use anything else besides this little bar right here. It tracks internal cooldowns as well as external cooldowns. So you see how I have Power Torrent and Nature's Grace. Okay, it tracks the internal cooldown. Now I have separate things for buffs up here and right here, but these track the internal cooldowns, which are very important. Usually you want to hit innervate when you have a Power Torrent up, but it has a significant internal cooldown. And so say it comes up while you don't have it up and you're wondering, okay, well, how long do I really have to wait? Is it worth waiting? And then if I see, oh wow, there's only 10 seconds left on the next Power Torrent ability to proc, then it'd probably be safe just to wait. Now if it had just ended, probably you just go ahead and use Innervate, unless you just don't really need the mana and you're just using it to use it on cooldown. And here is the kicker, grid. Alright, now I don't use all of these, but I have in the past, so I keep them. I usually download grid things from WoW Ace, which is the actual developer site, and you can install via the Curse installer, so that's not an issue if you want the easiness of it. Okay, so you're going to want that. I highly suggest a scrolling combat text of some kind. Omni CC, that gives you the cooldown counter in your actual action bar. And then Power Auras Classic. This is very important to me as a healer, and to any class really. If you're not using Power Auras by now, hopefully this will walk you through how to do that. Okay, so let's look at grid first. I'm going to open it up. Alright, now grid can be kind of daunting in the beginning. So this is what you get when you finally pop it up. You can change frame width like this and like this and like this. It just depends. I do 25 bands, but I have quite a bit of screen space, so I just put them all down here. And I actually like my frames to be kind of large. Orientation of frame. This just basically means if I do it vertically, I'm going to lose health vertically. And let me show you what I mean. So you just do it like that, okay? And I don't like that at all. It's not my thing, but if you're used to it, that's how to do it. Orientation of text, it's going to want to be horizontal, not vertical. That's just a thing. You can change the cooldown font. Fonts all over here. Font size, font outline. Font outline is very annoying to me, so I never use it. The center text length is what happens, like, if you have a really long name and you actually want to see the entire name, then you're definitely going to want to extend this a little bit, and that'll make it so it goes the entire length of the frame instead of just like a little portion of it. Corner size, this just adjusts the corner indicators, which I'll show you later, so we're going to go ahead and go over to indicators. Okay. So side icons and corner icons and corner plus and all these are the extra modules that you've encountered. Alright, so first thing you want to do is go to border, and I have the border as my target. See, when I'm targeting myself, I get a little white border around there. Healing bar is pretty standard. I don't have anything on there. Center text tells me if someone's dead, if they have a ghost debuff, if they feign death, if they're offline, and then of course the unit name, as you see there. Center icon I use as a raid debuff. If they have something on them from a boss, then it'll give them a little icon. And then the ready check. So scrub down to this whole corner text top left. Alright, when it says text, it means there will give an actual cooldown. So right now I have it set up for Sinestra, but we're going to do it like I normally have it. I'm going to go to HOTS, My Rejuve. Okay, when it says My Rejuve, it means that it's just mine. and if you have another druid in the raid and they have a rejuvenation on the target, I won't see that because I don't want to see that. That'd be, so I have one, and you see right here at the top left, you have 8, 7, 6. Okay, it's just counting down, right? Fairly simple. All right, and the little -1 is just basically saying how many rejuves are on the target. You can't keep multiple rejuves on the target, so obviously it's not going to be an issue. Text top right is I do my life bloom colored stack. Okay, this basically means that with each stack of life bloom it'll change color. So you see, look at this right corner. One stack is red, one stack is yellow, and then the third stack is green. And it just counts down from there. The traditional thing with grid is that it goes red at the end. With life blooms I don't do that because I want to see how many stacks there are. If you just want the like the color cooldown, then you can do it like this. It's red, and then it goes yellow, and then it'll go green eventually. Alright, and see the little 3 right there, it just tells you how many stacks there are. It's just personal preference, really. I'm just used to this, so I do it like that. Alright, corner text bottom. My regrowth there. Regrowth is a pretty small hot, but it helps to know when there's something on them, so I just keep it right there. Alright, I'm going to fix that. So, okay. Corner text bottom right. Alright, this one is again Sinestra, but since I don't need that right now, I'm going to put it to where it usually was, which is my wild growth. So if I hit regrowth, see, I've got the little cooldown. The little box right here is just another thing that I had set it up with. Alright, and see, that also counts down to it, so it's red at the end. Okay. I'm going to fix all these. Alright, frame alpha, you definitely want to make it so that it's out of range, so you know when people are out of range and when they're not. It's the default out of range. I think it's, 35, 40 yards as far as grid goes. Mana bar, the only thing I really have set to is mana. Yeah, okay, see, I'm checking it. Alright. Now, if you're the type of person that doesn't want counters, the little numbers counting down, and you just want, an icon, okay, that's perfectly fine. Probably easier to just go over here. Okay. Alright. Let me turn off top right so you can see. Okay. Alright. So I have the top right icon or corner as life bloom. Okay. Alright, now it doesn't tell you how many stacks there are. That'd probably be good to have here. But it's just a little box, and then when it goes green, that means it's about to expire. I think like 2 seconds or less. Okay. So that's just, it's up to you. The reason you have all these other modules in place is for things like me. I have, on fights like Sinestra, I have to track a lot of things. Okay. So after that, layout, these are pretty standard. I don't mess with them. It's just like, The statuses are where you can add buffs and debuffs. If you want to see when mages use Ice Block, but you don't want to use the taking cooldown mod, then you can just type in Ice Block there. And all there. Okay, if you wanted to change something like default, it goes invert bar color, so it's darker, and then when you lose health it becomes brighter. This is just a personal thing. I don't like that. Some people, I guess it could be helpful to see, colors pop out and all that, but I just keep it like that. So I hit invert bar color. Okay, and then there's click set. Now a lot of people use click, but I tried it and it wasn't my thing. So if you see left mouse button, if you directly click it, which basically means you're going to target it. But if I hit control click on that certain frame, it's going to cast regrowth. Alright, alt click is regrowth 2, shift click is wild growth. Alright, and I don't use anything else. It depends on how many modifiers you use too. Right mouse button. My right click on a frame is rejuvenation. My control right click is life bloom. Alright, and then my alt right click is Nourish, and my shift right click is Remove Corruption, which is usually Dispel Magic. Middle mouse button I don't really use. 4 and 5 I have a Razor Naga, so I don't use those, but that's basically like the side buttons. I use those on my old mouse, but since I got the Naga, it doesn't really matter. Scroll wheel up is my Swift Mend. So I put the Rejuve and I hit the Swift Mend, and there you go. Alright, I don't really use any modifiers for the scroll wheels. And then down is Healing Touch. Okay, so that basically covers everything. But depending on how comfortable you are with using modifiers and things like that, this can be pretty nice. I just use it for the basics. And the last thing that you need to look at is power auras. So type /power. Alright. It seems daunting at the beginning, but it's really not. You're going to have a blank little page right here. Click on a little thing. And I'm going to show you my clear casting buff. Alright, I'm going to click edit. And it says right here, I want it to glow. I changed the texture. You just move them like this. Alright, and you get all these little textures here. Alright, and I have it too, and you can change the color if you want. Opacity, I usually go to 100%. Symmetry, doesn't really matter. Size, I want it bigger, I want it smaller. You know, that's just whatever you want. The buff that I want to look for, it says activation by, and then I go to buff, and then I enter the name, which is clear casting. Okay, I want the stacks to be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, if I want to do the exact name or whatever, it's fine. If I only want it to do it when I'm alive, which will be the only time that clear casting will proc, but just in case, you can go ahead and check that. So only when alive. All this stuff is different if you only want it to do in combat, which it wouldn't be doing it now if it was only in night combat. You can just play around with that. If you want to use the actual texture, which is the spell icon, that's up to you. If you want it to use an animation or a sound, I know a lot of players use sound for power auras, and you know, that's just up to you. My next one that I have is for Power Torrent. Same thing, just, you know, choose everything and just do Power Torrent. The other thing that I have are cooldowns, or not cooldowns, but timer trackers for clear casting and Life Bloom especially. Life Bloom is the same, see right here, but I have stacks and then I have a counter. So timer, same thing, and then stacks. You can show the stacks or not show the stacks, alright? It's just up to you. I prefer, that's why I have a power aura for Life Bloom, is I want to see how many stacks. Now, the Life Bloom stacks will only show if your target is a tank or whoever you have the Life Bloom on. You can definitely show it in another instance. It's just not a, I always have it as my target, so it's not an issue for me. Okay, and that's pretty much it for add-ons. It's not quite as daunting as it may seem at the beginning. Alright.